Welcome to the memory item rubric, and this time we're going to March 2017 when I went to a debate competition forum, whatever, debate forum. It was weird. Let me get to the roots of it. So once I was in, I think, Varna, maybe, and in a friend of my mother's. She's a teacher, and she was talking to my mother about this debate club, and how there are different people in there, people that love to learn and stuff like that. And then one time at the end of February, my mother was told by this friend of hers that there's a debate forum, in Varna. Actually, this woman was from Plovdiv, not Varna. But anyways, and my mother decided to, inform me, make a proposal. So she asked me if I want to go, and I'm like, okay, I'll try. And it was 80 leva, Bulgarian levs, BGN, which is estimated, if USD is 1.8, then, well, you can calculate it. Bulgarian lev to United States dollar, it's about 1.8. In euro, it's about no, it's divided by 1.8, yes, and it's in euro is divided by 1.95. So yeah, calculate it if you want into your currency. This is the so-called badge. It's not really a badge, but it's like necklace, paper necklace. Like it had this rope in here, and it symbolizes what happened in there. So I'm gonna shoot this video and then throw it away because it's holding me space and it's covering with dust. So I'll make the memory alive forever in the internet. Wow. It was like in Hotel Odessos, or at least that's why they said at first it's gonna be on Odessos, or at least I didn't read all of it, so I thought it's gonna be in Odessos. And it seemed like it was like so close to the beach, and it seemed like a very, very, very expensive hotel. And 80 level for this, it seemed like there's something smelly, But anyways, I put the money into my bank debit card, or I think that at that time it was my father's debit card, because I still haven't made one in March. I already have one, but in March I think I used my father's. So, and yeah, you go there to the bank and you fill some paper stuff. You put the money in, and then you write how do you call it? Well, you put the money into someone else's account. In this case, the account of Sofia Debate Association. And then, when was it? I don't remember the exact dates. Like, what time was it? But was I free of school? I don't know. Was it vacation? However, when it got time, I used the, actually also, I was going to go with my mother, but I went to the youth club of the town, and the woman there, she said she'll find someone to come there. I actually went to register through the youth club because this thing it's for teams. There are some individual places for the event, but most of it's teams. And we actually got a team of 2 people, including me and a leader. So the second one is a girl, which I think she wasn't experienced in that too. It was her first time debating too, and the leader was her mother. So the day when we went to Varna, we used the night train. It was maybe like 4 o'clock something like that. It's actually very, very early morning. And we went to the train to Varna, which is a long travel, especially with the slow train and bumping. And I didn't actually manage to sleep almost because we were four people. Yeah, four people in the train. Me, the girl, her mother, and one more girl that just traveled. There. She didn't have connection to this event, but she traveled to Varna too. So I'm kind of long, and I didn't have space to lie in the seats. So I was sitting, and I could, maybe a bit um, widen up on two seats, but it's still not enough, and my back would hurt. So I was just sitting and watching most of the time. Maybe sometimes I fall asleep, but it wasn't that often. And as we got to there, actually a big part of the participants in the event went out of the train, and I didn't know that they're in the train before that. And they got this, JBL mobile music stuff. And the mother of the girl, our leader, she was like, how do you call this? Eh, I don't remember the word, but she wasn't satisfied of that other people make so loud music, without asking others, just like that in how's it social place, I don't know, outside buildings and private properties, yeah. So we went to the hotel, with the coffers and stuff, and we catch a taxi, and we tried to ask the taxi driver how far away is the hotel, and he quite didn't explain anything to us. He was just like spinning it over so that he doesn't give an answer. And it was actually, I think, less than a kilometer when I calculated it on the map that I got later over. I'll show you. But he got like 611 something for it, which is wow. That's a lot. Usually taxis in Sliven, the town I'm in, they're like 70 cents a kilometer, but not USD cents, Bulgarian cents, which is like, calculating the same if you want to. And in this place, the taxi we took, if let's say it was 1 kilometer and about 6 Bulgarian lefs, what is that then? Well, yeah, it's actually about 6 Bulgarian lefs per kilometer. It doesn't even require calculation. And whatever, we got to the hotel, and actually we didn't go into the rooms. We left the baggage in the foyer, the entering room, and we went out for a walk to go to the beach. We got some clothes, a bit baggage, small backpacks, water. So we went for a walk around the beach, and then in the hotel, I forgot to mention that I got this map, which is another memory item I have, and I'm gonna throw out probably. This map is the map of Varna. It's actually maybe useful, but I can always get one, so uh, delete those stuffs and just throw it out. Um, Let me see. It's actually, I think this over here is the train station. Yeah, railway station it says. And the hotel, it's like, yeah, they told us we're in Odysseus, but we're actually in Chernomore, which is over here. Chernomore literally means Black Sea. So you see the distance over here, I kind of calculated it, not exactly, but it's about 1 kilometer. And then from here, from the hotel, we went down to the sea garden, and then, around the beach. And at some point, we went to the water. it was actually quite cold, and I even have a video of it. Luckily, I brought the camera with me with this floating bubble thing, and I swam with the camera. It was very cold, like not Wim Hof cold, but it was cold for me. I don't know, maybe 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. And I don't actually swim, but I just like how do you say it? I bath in there, like I go with my legs. Yeah, I walk literally on the bottom of the sea, and I don't swim, even as for now. So it was quite cold, but I was maybe half an hour in the water, something like that. And the girl and the mother, they also went to the water. Not that much, but yeah, I also warmed up like for a workout because I knew that this would help me uh, from the cold water. And so after that, I think yeah, at some time we were searching for coffee, because uh, uh, the woman that led us, the leader, she she kind of admits it that she's addicted to coffee and cigarettes. So we were searching for coffee at some point before we went to the beach, and after that, I don't know, I don't remember. Maybe we went for a restaurant, but you know, we went to the hotel, and then we thought that the event is gonna be in the hotel, but no, it wasn't actually quite as that. It was in this festival center over here, which is like less than 500 meters probably. And yeah, it was crazy. Most of the people were late. It was awkward. The opening was horrible, just like hype and something like, those extreme churches where they're like, oh Jesus, something like hallelujah, and with all their weird rituals, and even going there for the first time, it's horrible. If you know what is there, if you know what's awaiting you, then maybe you'll be kind of more prepared. But if you go just like that without knowing whatsoever, I was like, okay, so we're gonna debate, and then you go there and you see some people like do this all over their tables, and it's like, oh, did I went into, how was it, witness, Jehovah Witness, yeah, something like that, with sacred rituals and stuff. And yeah, they seem pretty crazy. They still do seem pretty crazy to me, and that's why I stopped on the second uh, competition, because it's like, I don't know how to call that. There is a word in our language. It's not from Bulgarian language, but it's a foreign word, sect, which is like extreme church. It's not a usual church, but Jehovah Witness, something like Islamist. Those the people that blow up themselves, or extreme orthodoxo, ultra orthodoxo, Hirats. You know, Harets, yeah, the Jewish people, and all those religions. They have an extreme place where all the people are like hallelujah and stuff like that. So it was something like that, pretty much. And I mean, it's kind of understandable because it's the one of the easiest ways to attract crowds of people and to keep them in there by putting them into some kind of an extreme religion. And it was, I think, maybe 1 hour opening and more. It was a horrible presentation, just boring, trying to put up some hype in the crowd. Oh, also before that was the more interesting part, the so-so organizing, which wasn't very organized, of course, because it's like a big association that's supposed to be for the whole country, and it's like there was maybe 10 people working in there on the event. I don't know what's the whole count of the people, but it was like maybe five of the main people and five volunteers, something like that. And it was a lot of work, and they didn't manage to do most of it. Okay, not most of it, but a good part of it wasn't done anyway. So, the events were later. People were laying off. They were going on there later. Uh, shadow is like ground shaked. And we used to help them too before the opening. We did those over here. You get a rope, and there was this one of those rows, and the rope was around. And first off, we get this out of the rope. Then we tie it in here, and we make I forgot the name of this, but anyways, and then we put them over there. There's documents to be filled. People write their names on this, and there was different tasks. It's really not organized, and it's funny how they call it an organization, but it's really not organized. And so, after that, there was the so-called teaching sessions where some people that I really had an expectation that they're gonna be older than us, but it was like really young people, which is good, it's nice. But they were like speaking Bulgarian uh, on a lower level than us. Well, not that their English was perfect, but it was just like they don't speak fully English, nor they speak fully Bulgarian. They speak like maybe, okay, let's say 80% Bulgarian, 20% English when they speak Bulgarian. So they use a lot of foreign words. They excuse themselves with this terminology stuff. All the science says, oh, we have terminology, so we're gonna use this fancy word so that other people won't understand us. Yeah, I hate that, but anyways, who am I? Let them do whatever they want. So they started explaining us, and a big part of the people there had an idea what we're doing over there, but I didn't. And it's like, before you even go to the bike, there's a good example on this. You don't know what a bike is, and someone tries to explain you without giving you a bike, without giving you to ride it. He just tells you, there's this machine with two wheels, and there is steel frames, and you put your leg on one of those pedals, and using your glutes and your no, how is it? Rectus femoris, yeah, like someone explains you with all the muscles you use for the bike, and you make this spinning movement, and then it takes to I don't know this word in English, but anyways, it's converting energy to the bike with the chain. Someone explains you all this like a scientific explanation. Not that they were so scientific, but anyways, it sounds like that when you don't know what they're talking about, really. You haven't practiced, and someone explains you all this, and you're like, okay, I don't know. I'll just make a note in here, but I don't know what you're talking about. And I don't know if we had a debate on the first day, but no, we had like some games, which was actually the best part. One of them, you may try this, it's really fun. A dark room, there's a crowd of people sitting on chairs, and you make a caterpillar by, you catch the next man's hand, and the man that's before you, and you make something like that, like a chain of people, like, and it shouldn't be straight. It's like that, mixed. You catch each other's hands, and there the light goes off, dark room. Someone in the beginning makes like that, he crunches the other man's hand, and he makes a noise like oh, and the next one makes bah, the next one meow, and until the end. And someone in the beginning records the time, and you're trying to break a record, for time. And I think we started with something about 16 seconds, and then we made it to 8 seconds of a group that's consisting of probably less than 20 people, but we were divided into levels and stuff, because all those debates, they have some formats, and I didn't even know what those formats are, although they were explained to me, but I still didn't understand what exactly we're doing. So I was registered into some format from the beginning, but I didn't know which room was it. They didn't exactly give us clear instructions to where the rooms are, and there's a more interesting part to this story on later. But yeah, I actually found the room anyways, and yeah, so this is it. Like, the whole event was 250 people about. Yeah. So there were more games. About 4 people go into a group. That's like 5 groups in our room, and we're falling in a bubble from an abyss, and we have to say a story why we should survive. That's like a base argumentation constructing exercise for debating, and it was weird. And I was just like, well, on my birthday I shut down a firework, so I'm just gonna blow in the bubble and make it grow so that we can fly again. Yeah, a very awkward game, especially with with people that you don't know. It's awkward. Obviously, my battery is falling. Um, what else? Well, I think that's for the first day. Yeah. Then we go to the hotel at the evening. I ate a whole bread, just like that, for lunch, and that was for the next day, anyways. Um, well, yeah, the next day we started, and we didn't actually use the same team that we were registered with, which means that they mixed us up with people that we aren't familiar with, and I was with the boy that, okay, let's just say he was called Plamen and nothing else. I don't know if he wants to be called in this video, so I'll just say his first name. But there's so many people with this name, and we were a team, the two of us, and it's like the format is you have 8 people in one debate, and you have judges. You have the first one, opening government, which is like, we will enter 50% tax for cars that use diesel. And then you have opening opposition, which is like, we want the tax for diesel cars to be the same as gas cars, which is, let's say, 10%. And then you have the second one in opening government, who says again, we will raise the tax for diesel cars to 50% because of this, and it will impact the diesel car industry and stuff like that because of this, and it will do this. And then you have the second one of opening opposition, who says, we want the tax to stay 10% as much as the gas cars because of that, and it will impact the gas and the diesel cars like that. And then you have the closing government. I'm not pointing at the map, so just put this. The closing government, which says, okay, yes, we want to make the 50% tax on diesel, but it's not the same idea that we have as the opening government. The closing government, they say something a bit different, but they still are in your team, but they're not your team, but they are with your team, like coalition. And then you have closing opposition, then you have second closing opposition, government is second closing opposition, and that's the British Parliament format. There's also World Schools, American Schools, Karl Popper, and stuff like that. It's a horrible mess. And yeah, it was actually fun, kind of, if we exclude this ta 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 that they like to make in some other weird rituals, like like I'm gonna show it to you. Okay, they do something like, one of their hands, when they ask a question to someone, one of their hands they put it like that, and the other one they put it like that. Like something like how Hitler or something like that. Yeah, when they ask a question or when they want to say something, they make like Wait, like like that, you know, like you're begging. But yeah, they show it. They show this begging thing. Like I could just put the camera on my chest, but yeah, whatever. And excluding those weird rituals, it was actually fun, especially with someone who I didn't know. And they gave us like 1 hour to get ready. And we were not actually debating in here. It was in the University of Economics, which is, I think, this thing over here. And there was this aula auditory with the wooden seats that like flip like that, and when you leave them, they make a very loud noise like dang, ching, you know, and it hurts your butt because it's plain wood. Yeah, it's horrible. And yeah, one of the topics that we had was drugs for sport. The other one was mandatory care from children to parents when their parents go very old, and stuff like that, you know. And they put you in four or verses. They don't ask you, they just put you on a random note. And our team was called something on Harry Potter. They didn't let us think of our own names. They just put names of Harry Potter on there. The organizers, they didn't ask us really. And I don't know what we were, something like Skeeter. Yeah, River Skeeter, something like that. The name of our team. Yeah, it was quite fine. And actually, at the second day or first one, I don't know when we were searching for the university, it was raining, and we went, and most of them ate pancakes. And one of the boys that was with us, you know, this gang of like 6 people or 4 to 6, and he was like asking, "Is there margarine in the pancakes?" And in the last place that we were, he asked again, and they shouted out at him. But when he was in the pancakes place, the it was actually, I can show you maybe. I think it was here, the pancakes. Yeah. Um, the executive officer of the pancake kitchen came, and you know, he ensured him that there is no margarine in the pancakes. And they actually threw half of it because, you know, they're like, you know, there's some people that don't eat all of their food and then they just put it in the trash like that, even if it's not touched. But yeah, different people. And breakfast in the hotel, it was, you know, Hotel Chernomor, actually a very rich hotel. I don't know how we got in there with just 80 level, but it's miracle. And the breakfast was like a giant block table, actually not one block table but multiple block tables, and there was like meat, eggs, vegetables, fruits, nuts, dough, sweets, salty stuff, you know, whatever you like. It was actually quite good, and I ate a lot in breakfasts in the hotel. And there was supposed to be lunch and dinner, but the organization didn't receive payments from America for Bulgaria, and you know, that's why they cut back on lunch and dinner, and they left it to ourselves. And also on the hotel, I was supposed to be with another boy. I think he was called Ivan, but he went in there and he was with his girlfriend, and he was like, "Hey, do you mind her being in this room, you know, with in his bed?" And I was like, "Yeah, whatsoever. I don't know them, but I don't care that much." But then he started searching for a room when there's empty, you know, 2 beds or a bigger bed or something, or he just didn't want to be with me. I don't know. It's his reasons. So he left me in there, and I was alone, which is, it's not sad for me, you know. I'm used to being lonely, so I was just me in the room, and in the neighbor room it was the leader and my teammate, not the teammate from the competition, but the teammate that I went with the club from Sliven. You know, this Twitter debate club. So yeah, I slept alone in there. I carried a book of Vadim Zealand, and I ate an avocado that had this weird sprouted out spiral root in the seed, which you can see a video of it. And this avocado seed, it actually dried because of dryness. Yeah, so it's dead now. And so I carried some other nuts like sesame, pumpkin nuts. Yeah, I ate a lot of nuts in there. I carried them from home, and I ate 2 times breads from this place over here. It was about somewhere down to Happy, a bakery. And what else? What else? Yeah, I talked a lot with the leader. She she had a son that didn't want to visit school. Something like uh, on reasons similar to mine's, not the same, but yeah. Um, she gave me some knowledge, some wisdom, whatever you want to call it. What else? Yeah, second day was mainly filled with, I think, 4 debates, and fifth day there was finals, which I wasn't there with my teammate Plamen, and we just watched them. I watched the English ones because I wanted to see Bulgarian people speaking in English. It's a funny image, but actually they were good. Yeah, like really, they spoke English, not Bulgarian English or English Bulgarian, stuff like that. They really spoke English, although their dictionary wasn't that rich as much as mine is. I mean that my dictionary is poor, and their dictionary is just a bit more richer than me. They know a bit more words than me, like, yeah. And it's very weird. And actually, the English guys were even more fanatic in the rituals, probably because they're more experienced in this. And the judge like says, he's his to the I was gonna say plumbers because of an advertising. Um, he's here to the speech of the Prime Minister for, his 8-minute constructive speech, and they make weird stuff like that, and then it's like they do this on the tables, and it's very loud and it's horrible. It's just like normal clapping, but dun, 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 dun. They use as much force as they can, to show respect to the church, to the religion. And they were actually very cocky people, a big part of them. Someone from them said that they're the elite of the society, like the smartest people alive in Bulgaria. Really, no thanks. That was disgusting. And he actually said it on this meeting where most of the people were there. Okay, not most, but a part of them. I don't know. There probably was maybe 100 people, and they did some organizational stuff like changing the name. They still didn't change it, but they changed the name to Bulgarian Debate Association. But it's still Sofia Debate Association. So they didn't really change the name, and they were supposed to change the leaders, but they're still the almost same people. It was just that on the second event someone lacked, and yeah, that's it pretty much. What else? I don't know. We went on some restaurants to eat on the evening. I wasn't hungry, and the girl that I was with, this daughter of the leader, she had some, I don't know, very specific taste, and we were like jumping from a restaurant to restaurant. We went to Happy, to Godzilla, to whatever place, and most of the time she was, grumpy, like, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be here. And before the university, before it, the second day, I think, before we went there, we ate pizza, like some, not fat pizza, but big pizza. Like, the dough was very thick. I don't know, maybe like that. Yeah. And I ate also a salad, and I ate part of their pizza and the ayran that they ordered, because the girl has a very fine taste, and she doesn't eat whatsoever. I don't know how we call them in English, but we call them like evil eaters, because they eat only a few foods in the world. Um, so after that, we thought we were late, but we ran to there, to the university from like somewhere in here. We ran to over here, and I was like with maybe 2 kilograms of food in my stomach, just eaten, and it was horrible for me. I hate walking after eating, but I almost ran to there. I walked fast, okay? We didn't run, we walked fast. And then we're there and they still didn't start, like, oh, we haven't started. They were just smoking. Most of the people were smoking. Yeah, that's a little detail. They just grouped, crowded over the entrance of the building that we're in, no matter if it's the university or the festival center or the hotel. They just were in front of the entrance and smoking, most of them. It, it was very smelly, but anyways, what else to say? It was fun, and in the last day, the third one, I think, or the fourth one, we went to swim in the sea again. It was still cold. I warmed up again with training workout. Um, it was. We left the baggage in the foyer of the hotel again so that we can take a walk without it. And then at some point we took it and we walked about in Varna. Also in the breaks between the event, um, there was like small breaks, and I took walks around the streets to see what's in there alone myself. How I mostly do it myself, also in Sliven. A few people are brave enough to talk with an awkward man like me. You know, um, I'm not so emotional. Maybe it's because of that. And yeah, I saw a lot of figs in there. Yeah, there was big figs, but there wasn't ripe fruit yet because it's March, and now it's July, and there's ripe fruit now. I think that's it. Maybe what else to say? Yeah, we had some walks in there. We ate again in the park. There was a lot of mosquitoes biting me, and there was a lot of skaters in Varna. Well, not a lot, but compared to Sliven, there was much more. But I didn't ask any one of them about, some tips. I wanted some tips, but I didn't dare to ask them because I was too shy. I'm still shy. I'm trying to make this different, trying to make a change. So whatsoever, we got with the train back to Sliven again, and it was maybe about 2 o'clock in the morning, very late night when we got back to Sliven. We went with the car of my mother and her friend. We went to home, and no, actually before that we left the leader and her daughter to their home, which is like, you know, 2 kilometers away of us, and then we went back to home. And then I slept, and I think that's it. Well, what did I learn? I learned to be on the other side of the dispute, which is good. It's a high quality skill to see the other side. And Charlie Munger, don't debate your side until you can debate the other side better than yours. Charlie Munger is the mentor of Warren Buffett. Yeah. What else did I learn? I learned to prepare fast. I learned to talk more to more people. Whatsoever. I don't know. Also, there was this farmer market where there's fresh fruits, honey, and stuff. I bought honey and um, this sweet from something. Okay, I don't recall it. A sweet cream, a black one. And I bought some dough with spinach and cheese thing on this market. It was quite good, but I didn't have enough to buy more stuff that I wanted. And yeah, also there was this marathon, Varna marathon, yeah. And part of in our hotel there was this group from Africa, and they also participated in the marathon. it was quite cool, to see different people, uh, doing such events in here. Uh, yeah, the marathon, part of it was in front of the hotel. They made some lap from like 42 kilometers and whatever meters, like the original marathon. And there was policemen that stopped the walkers, peddlers, right? And they told us wait, and when the road gets clear from runners, then they let us pass. What else? What else? What else? That's it, maybe. Yeah, the girl that I was with, she got angry on me because I didn't use the rituals from the debate religion. This I didn't use them. I didn't want to. I did on the second event because it's like okay, this is the last time, so I'm gonna make them happy, kind of thing. Just show them that whatever. Okay, I'll do it just for you. But on the first competition, I didn't do them. It was quite annoying. Uh, all this, and it still is very annoying. And yeah, after one of the debates, it was about corruption and how should the government allow to criminals to give money like forgiveness to people that are witnesses of crime, not witnesses but victims. Yeah, victims. Should criminals give out payout to victims of crime? And after that, one of the guys in there, he was a professor in the university, I think, and we spoke about business, and he had like this roof company that produced, this red tiles for roofs. We call them kirimidi. I don't know how we call them. Tiles, maybe. Then he failed because another company, on another, he was like the only seller in the country, and he buy them from some producer. He was the only retailer, not seller. And then a second bigger factory came, and they made the price just a bit cheaper. Then he failed. Then he had something like a car company, and he imported cars. And then a bigger one company came, and he was like, so when you hear my name and some that I opened some business, you know that it's gonna fail soon. I was kind of sad, and I was also kind of, it was, interesting to see a professor of business actually trying to do some business. But he was like, he had a mindset that whatever he goes in will fail. But it's just that maybe he didn't learn enough. But I hope he does in future. So yeah, that's it pretty much. And I don't have something else in mind. Yeah, also they were very emotional, the debaters. They were watching me with some evil sights, and they had like some very, very evil feelings towards me, Um, they look like they want to eat me. I don't know. They're too emotional in this, and but it's not like respect emotion, something like that. It's like evil, literally. So that's it. This is the memories I have from this event. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.